Welcome to Elysian Capitol Hill. Let's get cooking. We're doing a few recipes today featuring Rolling Stone lager. We're gonna start out doing 3 different sauces. We'll do a beer yellow mustard, a malted beer vinaigrette, and a Rolling Stone barbecue sauce. And we'll start out doing the barbecue sauce. We're gonna start out with 2 cups of ketchup. We're gonna do 1/8 cup of cider vinegar. Then we got the Rolling Stone lagers next. That's 1/4 cup. I like to still the beer, which virtually means just leave out at room temp. That way a lot of the gases escape it, so you don't get a lot of foam and stuff. After that, Worcestershire sauce. That's gonna be 1/8 cup. Dark molasses, 1/8 cup. This will take me 1 second. And we're gonna roll into brown sugar, which is 1/4 cup. And some of our beer mustard, which I'll show you guys how to make after this. And that's 1/2 cup. And then our dry seasoning, we're just gonna do a little chili powder mix and some salt. And we'll stir it up, and that's gonna be done. And it's best using a wick so it breaks up the brown sugar clumps in there. And that's the barbecue sauce. So our next sauce that we're gonna do is a malted beer vinaigrette. This one I actually used our ESB beer with because it's maltier. So with vinaigrettes, you always do all your wet ingredients first. So we'll start with the molasses, 1/8 cup. And we're gonna do malt vinegar and the ESB beer. And then we got 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of dried parsley. And that's all of our wet ingredient. And then what we'll do is we'll slowly whisk in our olive oil, and that'll be it. So with this vinaigrette, if you're a hophead or whatnot, we do a lot of different IPAs. That would be a good, it's got a good citrus nose to it, so that would be a good alternative. And any of these recipes, you know, if you've got a beer that you like, you can definitely try it out. You know, the flavors that come from the beer are gonna be in that sauce. So our final sauce is Rolling Stone Lager Yellow Mustard. What we do first is steep our mustard seeds in with Rolling Stone Lager and malt vinegar. So I did 3/4 cups dried yellow mustard seed, 1.5 cups Rolling Stone beer, and 1/2 cup of malt vinegar. And with mustard, we're making the yellow mustard so you can see what it turns out to be. We're just gonna add all the ingredients in. You can add less water to get a spicier mustard, more water for less spicy. If you like a whole grain mustard. So there's a lot of fun different variations you can do with this one. So virtually all we're gonna do is just add everything in and then we'll go blend it. So distilled vinegar will be next. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of that. Water is gonna be 3.5 cups. So the sauce I'm making is not super spicy, so that's why there's so much water. Then we're gonna do 1/8 cup of molasses, dark molasses. 6 tablespoons of sugar. And then all of our spices, what we got is celery salt, 2 tablespoons, mustard powder, 2 teaspoons, turmeric, yellow turmeric, 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons granulated garlic, 2 teaspoons granulated onion, and 2 tablespoons paprika. And that's also, you can play around with that. This is a smoked paprika, but there's a million different flavors on that. So I'm gonna do this so I don't spill it all over. And we'll finish off with the salt is 2 tablespoons. And then we'll go and blend this and make our yellow mustard. And all 3 of these condiments are gonna be great for what I'm showing you guys to cook today, as well as any grilling or different salads of that matter. Good condiments for your fridge. All right, we're gonna do caramelized baby carrots. We have a pickled mustard seed. I use Rolling Stone beer and sugar. Whatever kind of vinegar flavor you want. I did a malt vinegar with this. Brown sugar, it's gonna help us give us caramelization, a little bit of butter. And then we're gonna use our malted beer vinaigrette and toss the carrots with that. And then we'll finish up garnishing with the pickled mustard seeds and the carrot tops. I like to start them raw. You can pre-blanch them if you want. I like to have a nice little bite to them. But medium-high heat again. We're gonna do olive oil down, and we're just gonna let that cook for a minute. So raw carrots that have been cleaned, peeled and cleaned. I like to leave the tops on them as well. That way you can kind of finger food them. So you can grab tops and whatnot. If you wanted to, you can put some beer in there right now. That helps steam them up a little bit quicker. You can just do plain water as well. But I like getting a little bit more bite on my carrot when I eat them. That way you get that full sweetness and it's not over soggy. With the sugar and stuff, there's not a specific amount. The more sweet or the sweeter you want them, the more brown sugar you can add. I'm just gonna do it just a little bit because carrots are naturally a lot of sugar in them. So we'll just do a little bit, that way you get that nice char flavor on them. Okay, now you can see they're starting to get brown on those carrots. So what we'll do is we're gonna hit the brown sugar, let that caramelize a little bit. And I'm just gonna do about 2 tablespoons worth. You kind of start seeing how that melts in there. And once that starts kind of breaking down on us, we're gonna just hit probably about a couple teaspoons worth of butter in there. And then we're gonna take a couple ounces of our beer vinaigrette. I'm gonna throw that right over top. So the aroma coming off of this right now is real heavy on kind of a charred sugar. You get a little bit of that beer coming off with the vinegar as well. We're going to reduce this just a little bit, and then we're going to sprinkle in our pickled mustard seeds, and then we'll be ready to go. Put a little bit of that sauce right back over top. There's your caramelized carrots with the beer malted vinaigrette. I'm going to throw together an old family favorite, the Sloppy Joe. We're going to do beef short rib flap meat. So this is boneless, cut it down. We are going to be using our yellow mustard that we built, as well as our Rolling Stone barbecue sauce. So with this one, I do a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of salt. Rub the meat down, set it for 24 hours. When we cook it, it's gonna give it a real nice caramelization on there for some added flavor. Now with the Sloppy Joe sauce is what we're gonna be using. Regular ketchup, we're gonna do 1 cup. Malted vinegar, we're gonna do 1/8 of a cup. Beer mustard, it's gonna be 1/8 of a cup. Our Rolling Stone barbecue sauce, that's gonna be 1 cup. Rolling Stone lager, we're gonna do another 2 cups of that. Brown sugar, another 1/4 cup. And then we're gonna do onions and carrots in there as well. And I'll show you how to bring it all together in the kitchen. So once the oil starts moving pretty quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and add the meat and start getting caramelization on it. Now once we get a good browning on one side, we'll flip it over. We're gonna pull the meat out, build the sauce, meat back in, and we'll just go right in the oven and get it braised up until it's fork tender. This helps seal in a lot of your juices and flavors. So now the meat's all out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the vegetables in there. So we'll go carrots, a couple cups, and onions, a couple cups. And you can see the bottom of the pan, how it's slightly burnt. That's okay at this point, we want that. So we're gonna get those carrots and onions started. Once they're cooked about halfway, then we'll add the beer in, and that's gonna clean all this right off the bottom. So at this point, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add the beer in and the vinegar, and then we're gonna clean the bottom of the pan with that liquid. So we're gonna go ketchup, brown sugar, the beer mustard, and Rolling Stone barbecue sauce. You actually get a lot of really good nose off of this. You got the beer in there, and then once that sugar and stuff starts hitting, very nice aroma comes off of this. You can see the bottom of the pan now, it's super clean. So all we're gonna do now is put the meat back in and throw this in the oven. So once you get all the sauce, or all the liquids built in there with the beer, that really puts off a nice aroma with the brown sugar and the beer. the barbecue sauce opens up with the beer mustard as well. So the aroma on it's really spectacular. All right, we're gonna cover that and braise it for a couple hours. Now the beef short rib sloppy joe is all finished. I just smashed it with a spoon. See how it flakes up nicely? I like it sloppy because it's a sloppy joe. So we're gonna take some toasted brioche burger buns. Just flip those open. I'm gonna spoon on some of our sloppy joe mix. Now out of this batch, you should be able to get at least 6 to 8 nice size sandwiches. So, and then what I did is made a green cabbage slaw, so green cabbage, carrots, and green bell pepper. And we're just gonna add a little bit of the malted beer vinaigrette into that. And that'll help cut it with a nice clean vinaigrette flavor on there. I like a lot. It helps clean up all that hearty beef. And you are ready for a summer feast with some candied carrots and a Rolling Stone beef short rib sloppy joe. Happy 4th of July. Cheers.